You're welcome back. You're still watching Business Incorporated right here on Channels Television. And yes, we're going to the aviation sector now. It's the story, I think, since yesterday, because from an all-time high score of 96.03% when the International Civil Aviation Organization conducted the Universal Security Audit Program in June 2015 to 71.04% in the recently concluded, so losing about 25%. And we've seen a whole lot of talks going on about what the achievement of this administration in the aviation sector has done so far or not, even though, of course, we do have that obviously applaudable Air Peace route to London. But let's look at the bigger picture now with someone who's really experienced in that area, Mr. Chris Aligbe. He's been in that aviation sector in Nigeria for many, many years. But now he just prefers to be the Chief Executive Officer of Belly Jane Consult. Thank you so much, Mr. Aligbe, for your time. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, so how much of a big deal is this 25% drop in this rating, the ICAO?
Well, you see, no country wants to drop when such audits are conducted, because it will first give an impression that the standard is dropping. But I don't think that it doesn't make our security or airspace unsafe. It is there. But all that we need is that we have noticed a gap. What we need to do is to quickly close the gap. But it's a drop, yes. But we should not be dropping that way.
Mm-hmm. We should not be dropping that much, 25%, because NAMA has come to tell us, that our airspace are captured by the total radar. I think that was the concern that led to this drop.
Well, the fact of the matter is that it's a safety audit. Arguments to and fro is not necessary. What is necessary for us to take the result and work to improve the situation? We should not, if we are at 96 before, let us stay at 96, even if we don't move, because 96 is very high. Even if we are up to 90, whatever, but there's a gap, we've noticed it, we should close it. That's rather than going up and down with these arguments, whether it is high, is a drop, or is a drop.
So where are these gaps, and what do you think can be done to at least head back to 90?
I wouldn't know the exact details of what should be done, but normally when such audits are conducted, they tell you the areas of deficiency, the areas that cause the gap. And what happens is that all the agencies involved, NCA, NAMA, or whatever, we take these areas and close them. It happens everywhere, but the thing to do when you don't accept the situation, the first thing is that let us not live in self-denial. Let us straight away address the issue and then get back to where we should be.
So that's for safety. I know the issue of consumer satisfaction also comes into play. These days, you want to travel, I think you do special prayers. Not about the safety, but also about meeting up with your target, your appointment. And what's really happened? We hear airlines firing staff. What's really going on?
You see, again, our airlines, like every other sector, airlines are in trouble. The fact that the economy has impacted on the airline, the state of the economy. If there's no disposable funds for people, then they won't go flying. And the fares have risen tremendously in recent times because airlines have their costs to meet. But the airlines themselves, in terms of consumer protection, the airlines themselves have not done what they should do. They keep blaming, they will blame everybody, but not themselves. For a long time, for many years, we say to the airline, look, have an arrangement within yourselves. Interline that if you cancel your flight, you'll be able to take me and put another flight. But they don't want to do that.
Maybe competition?
What kind of competition? What kind of competition that you cannot take me and put in another? That's what happens globally. That's why I say our airlines, they have not learned. They complain about everybody. Yes, there are challenges outside outside them, extrinsic challenges, but there are intrinsic challenges coming from within them, which they are not about to address. Over time, you take them corporate governance, they quarrel with you. Why should they start a business and they have nothing to do, they can't manage it? You tell them about interlining, they quarrel with you. You tell them, look at your schedule. If you are down from 5 aircraft to 3 aircraft, look at your schedule, cut it down, and then make sure that you operate properly. They think you're just criticizing them unnecessarily, but that's what is done elsewhere, everywhere. And
isn't it possible for the regulator to step in and maybe compel them to adopt some of this system just for the safety of the sector itself?
Apart from safety, the consumer rights in our country has been so thoroughly abused by airlines, our domestic airlines, abused by foreign airlines. So, but I think the NCAA, the regulator, has been making great efforts to do something about it. They've been, you can see some certain times they come and intervene and to make sure that these things won't continue. Recently, the minister has been talking about it, whatever. But yes, he's talked about it. Maybe he has given a fillip to the regulator to make sure that they get into it. But I don't I would say the airlines appear to be recalcitrant about it. And they don't, and whether they care or they don't care, one cannot say. But what is happening is that it's impacting terribly on them. That is why some people say, stop foreign airlines from going to many stations so that when they bring passengers, our airlines can take them. Our airlines are not in a position to offer that kind of service that will make foreign airlines, because they can't interline with themselves. A foreign airline who brings a passenger and you cancel the flight, that foreign airline, there's something we call carrier liability. He suffers that liability, or liability of you disappointing the passenger or whatever cost the passenger bears. Because today, when they cancel flight, the airline will say, you pay through this, you wait 2 weeks before ever you get. There is a new rule in the US. It's instant. If flight is delayed to the point it should not be or cancelled, you give the passenger the money immediately. If a US airline makes the mistake to interline with any Nigerian passenger and certainly have a Nigerian airline, and that operation happens, he bears the brunt because that passenger can go back and sue the airline and demand from the airline. That's what we call carrier
liability. Maybe FCCPC should step into this. I mean, they are the overall protector of consumer rights.
That's overall consumer right. But I would love a situation where FCCPC becomes a referral institution. That when NCAA fails, the issue can be referred to FCCPC because NCAA has all that it takes. The laws in terms of regulations, NCAA is known by ICAO because all these laws come from ICAO. But FCCPC, yes, is an omnibus institution, and FCCPC have shown that it has teeth to bite. So, but it has a lot to do, and I'm happy that it's biting. But the fact of the matter is that if he goes to every sector, it will be overloaded that he will begin to lose strength. But yes, it should stay as a referral institution so that whenever there's a failure, that person can refer to FCCPC, and we get, because FCCPC has a tribunal, and I think that's what should happen in this situation. But airlines haven't done what they should do.
But when we look deeper into the source or the cause of these disappointment, and we see even airlines that, when they came in, they were so reliable. Now we see them also falling short. Doesn't it tell us perhaps the problem is with the infrastructure or the structure in the sector generally, and not the thing with airlines?
Let me tell you, the infrastructure challenges are there. Like I say, there are external factors, extrinsic factors, there are intrinsic factors. Like I told you, when you operate in a manner that you cannot have a relationship, a cooperative relationship with your partners within even the domestic level. There's no way you will meet, you'll be disappointing passengers and everything. That is worse again when you look at even international operations. I really pity those going into international operations. What they're operating today is what I will call Stone Age operation. There are 5 levels of operation in the airline industry. The airline in 2 areas that the world has succeeded with globalization. One is telecommunications, one is air transport, airline industry. And if you don't key into that globalized level, you are not where? You are flying point to point. When you are flying point to point, your market is constricted. You cannot make any money. You'll be experiencing losses. And that's what has happened. Even when of airline, Nigeria Airways, from 1986, when it was chased out of the IATA clearinghouse, to the end, Bellevue, Arik, Medview, and presently...
And now EP is going to London. And the minister has told us very soon we should be expecting Nigerian airlines going to the United States.
Yes, I normally don't want to talk about individual.
No, he's the minister, and he said we should expect that.
No, he's the minister. I wish the minister were here, but when he's not here, I won't shave his head behind him. But all that I want to tell you, our airlines should know what we're operating. There are 5 or 6 levels of operation before you get to the top.
So where is Nigeria in those 5 or 6?
Nigeria is at the basal level, what I will call Stone Age level. When the airline industry started, they started with point to point as far back as 1933. By 1947, IATA created the platform for interlining and co-share. Nigeria was able to enter the 70s, but by 1986, he faltered in IATA clearinghouse, and he was expelled from IATA clearinghouse because he defaulted in payment. So he started point to point until he died. Is point to point. Bellevue, point to point. Arik, Medview, Epis, point to point. When you're operating point to London, you only have 30% of the whole traffic going to London. That 30%, because it's only those stopping in London that you can carry. Those who are going beyond London, that market is not available to you. And of that 30% that is going to London, there are still some of them who are frequent flyers or either on Virgin or BA. So you can't get them. So you have a narrow market. You cannot operate successfully on that. Is there
a way to accelerate and move away from this point to point? At least we have airpiece now. If we can maximize that, that might also help us.
Let me tell you how to move away. That's first point to point. The second point is interlining arrangement. Interlining arrangement, it came in 1947. It started then, but that is second level. Second level, unless your operation is at the level of, that's what I'm telling you, that's what they call carrier liability. If you're not operating at the level with the person you're interlining, there'll be a liability. If you fall, if you fail in meeting the obligation, then the other airline might, because you can sue an airline anywhere from the way where he is taken off from. But that's the second level. The third level is associate of a global alliance member. That happens when an alliance member invests in your airline. Invest in your airline, like KLM invested in Kenya Airways, like the beleaguered Nigeria Ethiopian Airline. Ethiopian Airline is a member of Global Alliance. KLM is a member.
So if the partnership had worked, that would have raised
to the third level. Associate of a Global Alliance member. The fourth level is when you become affiliate of the Global Alliance. But then the final level is when you now become an alliance member. There are 3 global alliances. One World, Sky Team. One World has about is led by British Airways and American Airlines. There's a Sky Team. There's the largest is Star Alliance. Star Alliance, where you have Air France, KLM, Delta. Those people, yes.
Mr. Aligbe, we see our minister is really active, you know, and I know he's also received some knocks, you know, when they were, I think he outlined some achievements in the first year and all of that. But do you see us on the path, or at least moving to the next level, you know, at this time? Do you see some movement?
Let me tell you, I'm a die-hard optimist. But even as a die-hard optimist, I'm a little bit circumspect. But I know that I say it is too early to use 1 year to judge any person. But like say, if you see the trajectory, if you see where that person is going to, you can say, okay, we will be there. But I think that whatever missteps or whatever gaps or whatever I have done will be corrected in this place. If that happens, we will move forward. I'm a die-hard optimist.
All right, let's stay with that. Yes. Let's stay with that. It's better for the heart. So, you know, let's be optimistic.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Chief Executive Officer of Belly Jane Consult, Mr. Chris Aligbe, for sharing your years of experience with us. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll head to the market right here on Business Incorporated on Channels Television.